Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. And on today's show I wanted to actually talk about that number over there. Yes, it is the G6 ships. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using STFC.space, courtesy of Ripper, who actually created this. Not the fact that Scopley decided to buy it and take it over, and yeah, we're going to credit Ripper on this one. And obviously just go through the ships that there is. Now, looking at the list, there is quite a few. There's about 13 of them. Now, I mentioned in the patch note video, we're going through the numbers, and we said there were 4 ships left over. Well, guess what all they are? They're all miners. So we've got actual faction miners, and you've got an independent miner. Now, you can see some of these shipyard requirements already. So let's start at the bottom. And that is this particular miner here, which is the Selki, and obviously launched at Shipyard 61. Now, this is an independent miner, as you can see, tier 12. So it follows in line with the general established parameters that we have for G4, G5. Now, that's not to say that the rest of them will. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that one, because you'll see why soon. Now, this has a ship's ability for mining gas, crystal, and ore at grade 6 or lower. Yes, or lower. So basically, and this is a theme that I found with even with the faction miners, it doesn't matter its grade. It's basically just going to say, no, materials, we mine it. Doesn't matter on its grade. So it basically just increase its mining speed by 200% on material nodes as a starter. Now, as well, there is some research that you can also add to the Selki's ability to survive in hazard systems, and this one is adapting skin, which can be found in the combat tree. But this is going to have to literally be G6 research only, so you're not going to be able to do this at any other grade lower than that, I presume. Anyway, now here's its abilities, and if we scroll all the way to level 60, as you can see, mining speed will increase by 650%, completely topped out at tier 12. Now, one other thing I did notice, and you'll notice as we go through the video, but I'm going to put it out now. I do not think G6 Epic materials exist, because I couldn't, even the Epic, G6 Epic, I could not find Epic materials. So maybe they've made that easier, but the one thing is the material costs are in the millions. I will just point that bit out. Now, the build cost for this is going to be 150 blueprints. Obviously, we don't know how much they're going to be yet, but the build time is 5 days. Now, that can vary depending on your ship construction research, which I don't think we actually have any. So, yeah, sorry, it's 5 days. And then, obviously, you've got these new resources. The funny symbol for titanium and dilithium. Now, I presume Parsteel also has the same, but this is going to cost you basically just under 30,000 titanium to build. Now, it is a gas and crystal material ship as well, so just keep that in mind. Shipyard 61 to build it up, 12 tiers, and yes, here we go, we get it all in screen. It's going to cost you 427 million of this new titanium and 3.23 million of the new dilithium as well. Completely G6. You've got G6 parts as well, which is obviously common, uncommon, and rare. But look at those costs in the millions. It's ecstatic. It's like, whoa, this is, yeah. It's predominantly a crystal miner, which is something that we previously saw with the G3 miners. They were pretty much crystal. The Horizon, the faction miners. So just bear it in mind that this is going to be predominantly a crystal-based ship with gas as its secondary. So there's that. Now, I'm not going to bother with its combat details, but it does have one particular weapon, defensive hull. Are we going to find a firing pattern for this? Yep, single weapon, fires once every round, which is pretty normal. Crew levels, yeah, only 5 slots available when it's maxed out up to tier 9 at least. So the officer bonus tops out at 1000% to max it out. So keep an eye on that. Obviously, no refit. Oh, hang on. Okay, there are some skins as well, which will increase specific mining rates as well. So new skins also coming out for it. I was not expecting to see that. So you've got one for the gas, you've got one for crystal, and you've got one for ore as well. So there we go. Now, here's the tables. Now, I'm going to be looking primarily here at its warp ranges. As you can see, out of the box, it's going to be 840. Now, bearing in mind as well, I will throw this here. Everything I'm showing you here is cost, as a base cost level. This will not include any research that you've done as a generalized, not specific grade, but generalized. Obviously, for G6 specifically, that's what you're going to be need. And as you can see, it's going to top out a warp range in tier 12 of 1,155. Warp speed seems pretty low, but again, that will be affected by your research. And let's have a look at its cargo. So its cargo is protected is 9,000, pretty low. 84,000 as a cargo hold, but topping out at tier 12 with 180,000 cargo hold and just under 29,000 protected. Again, affected by this is not affected by research, so those cargo holds will most likely be bigger. So just bear that in mind. So that's the Selki. So we'll go back. Now we're going to look at the uncommon ships. We're going to quickly go through them. We've got the first one here. We've got the Akira. You've got the Negar for the Klingons, and you've got the Minerva for the Romulans. So here we go. So we'll click on the Romulan one. Again, this is a 15 tier ship. So now we are starting to see that increase. There's our first increase for 15. Ship's ability, radiation resistance. Increases radiation resistance by 15%. And again, for 15, this is going to go all the way to level 75. So it's going to top out at 150% as a max. Total cost is 150 blueprints. Again, cost of the blueprints, we do not know. Again, that's going to be the same for all the other types. 43,000, nearly 43,500 titanium to actually build. And some of these costs don't seem particularly expensive when you actually look at them for the resources. But again, this is a new form of resource, so just bear that in mind. Now, it's uncommon, G6 uncommon, it's going to be Shipyard 63. All 3 ships for this are going to be the same. And obviously 15 tiers. There you go, some rares here, looking at 1.44 million rare parts, Explorer parts, because obviously this is an Explorer. So yeah, 1.5 million, 1.6 billion titanium. So it is going to be pretty pricey. But again, I'm not quite sure what the conversion rate is for that particular titanium. Now, DPI is going to be, like I said, out of the box. Hang on, is that going? Let me just confirm if that's going to be for tier 12. So let's get rid of the range. And yep, there we go. So out of the box then, we are looking at a power of 17.2 million. Again, watch your research. It will affect, this is all just base level. DPI is 1.6 million. And you got your piercing stats, a 10% chance of critical damage, and 150% increase to critical damage when it actually does proc. And there's your mitigation over the far side. Defense is 2.3 million with attack at 3.2 million. So there are your health stats as well. 12.3 million shield and 11 million hull. It has 3 energy weapons. Literally 2 shots. And yeah, that's going to be an interesting firing pattern, so we'll have to actually have a look. By the looks of this though, the warm-up is literally front facing, all three weapons firing at the same time. So no kinetic weapons with this one. So that's an interesting one. So here's the firing pattern. Oh my lord, look at that. There is a clear miss in firing pattern. So the firing pattern is literally everything at the front, like I just said. Then it skips around. Wow, that could be big. That could be big. Skips around, and then it's 2. So then it's 4. Then it's 2. Then it's 4. Skips around 6. So it's in total it's a 6-round rotation for doing it. Oh my god! I mean, look at that. Even so, you got round 2, round 6, round 8, round 12, round 14, all skipping a beat. Oh my lordy! So now, is the scrapping available? Nope, can't be scrapped available at current. So that's fair dues. Crew slots is going up to 7, so we now see an increase in the number of officers available. Whereas G4, G5, we've been limited to 5. We're now going up to 7. Obviously, that will be taken into account for the increased amount of stats, which will top out at 3,000% or a stat count of 480,000. So yeah, not particularly too bad. So it does have a refit of Minerva Gold, ooh, which increases its base has resistance by 50%. Wow. Okay, so these hazards are sounding like they're going to be pretty big in here. But what range is then? Obviously kicking off at 1,100 out of the dock and topping out at 1,420. Wow, that's massive. That is actually quite high. So, right. So that's the Minerva. Let's have a look at the Negar then. That's the battleship. Again, tier 5 ship's ability. Asteroid resistance. Increases asteroid resistance by 15%. And again, level 75 is going to top out 150. 150 blueprints, 9 days to build. The build costs are exactly the same. Let's have a quick look at the range. Again, by the looks of this, these costs are pretty much going to be exactly similar. So in the terms of how many materials. Obviously, being a battleship, it's predominantly ore, with crystal being the secondary. So just bear that in mind, as you should do. Let's take the range off then for its DPR and everything. So power is 18 million, attack 3.3 million, defense just under 2 million. DPR is just under 2 million itself. Mitigation looks pretty decent. Again, a 10%, 150% as well when it comes to criticals. Hull health 12.7 and as an average, and then you got a just under 10.5 and just under 15. So weapons, here we go. So we do have 2 energy weapons and a kinetic weapon. Again, by looks of this is going to be 2 energy weapons at the front and a single energy weapon that fires every single round, and energy weapon firing every other round. The first kinetic shot will come in round 2 with a cooldown of 3 rounds. So let's just go down to the firing pattern, and here it is. As I said, that 1 energy weapon firing every single round, another energy skipping around every other round, and then you got the photonic torpedoes. This is kinetic, which is second round 5, 8, 11, so on. Again, crew slots and stats are exactly the same. Minerva Gold, again, increasing hazard resistance by 50%. And again, its warp ranges are going to be exactly the same as the Minerva. So the last one, obviously, is going to be the USS Aira. I'm glad there's an Aira class starship, because now we're starting to see more different Federation starships coming in. I would actually like to see the Excelsior class, some more between TOS and TNG era starships coming in. So we've got things like the Excelsior class, you've got the Ambassador class, you've got the Freedom class, you've got the New Orleans class, the Soyuz class, the Miranda class. You know, ships like that I'd actually like to see come in. And I'd also like to see variations on the Klingon bird of prey, like the Borels. You got the covert version of the Burrell, so things like that, and then obviously different Romulan ships as well for the Romulans. Now, this one has got a resistance to ion storms. Again, it's going to be the same stats. So let's check 150. Build costs pretty much exactly the same. Materials could be the slight issue with this one. Upgrades, again, let's have a quick gander. Let's see if we can remember. Yes, they are approximately the same, not exact, which is fair dues. But again, so this is what it's going to be. Let's take the range off and look at its power. 16.2 million power, so an attack of 2.6 million and defense just under 2 million. So it's roughly on par with the Negar. DPI is 1.3 million, so its DPI is actually less, which is not surprising. 150 criticals as well, and the actual health and shields hull health and shields is not particularly too bad. So yep, okay, they're exactly the same. Weapons, 1 energy, 2 kinetic. But again, looking at this, you got an energy weapon that'll fire 2 shots every single round. A kinetic weapon that'll fire 2 shots every single round. And then it's going to have another 2-shot kinetic weapon, which will fire every 3 rounds, but starting in round 2. So it's 3, 5, 8, 11. The same as the Negar. So just to confirm that then. So this one looks like it's going to actually deliver a little bit more of a harder volley. So in the uncommons, you're going to have the Minerva, which has got the frontal assault and then a skips around. You're going to have the Negar, which has got 2 weapons firing in the first round. Then it's got a break. So then it's got an energy weapon which alternates rounds. An energy weapon that carries on through, and a kinetics that does pretty much what the photonic torpedoes do here. So, yeah, that's not bad. Now, we don't need to go any further because they're exactly the same as the other 2 ships. So, now, that's the uncommons. Next up is obviously going to be the rares. And we'll actually start with the Federation battleship this time. The Titan. The proper Titan, not the one from Star Trek Picard Season 3, but this is Captain Riker's ship after he left the Enterprise E at the end of Nemesis. So, ship's ability then is on combat start, increasing shield piercing by 1,000% against hostiles. The rares predominantly in this game are your primary hostile grinders. You had this with G3, you had it with G4, you had it with G5. So now you've got to get it with G6. So it starts off at 1,000% and will top out at level 90 because this is an 18 tier starship. So 1,500% is going to top out at. Whew, that's going to be pretty heady. But it's, to be perfectly honest, right, that's only adding 500% over 90 levels. Okay, yeah, doesn't seem very big, does it? 350 blueprints is going to be the normal when it comes from G4, G5, G6. G3 is an exception because they didn't actually have 350 blueprints to collect it. Cost to build it is 74,400 titanium and 620 dilithium. Now, I would presume that the other 2 ships will be the same, but again, we will check them out. Shipyard 66 to build them. So just keep that one in mind. Now, the cost for tier 1 to 18, this is it. 3.6 billion of the new titanium, 27.6 million dilithium, and then you got all your parts. As you can see, every single ship we're seeing so far has common, uncommon, and rare parts. So let's get rid of the range because we're going to need that for the power and everything. Criticals, exactly the same as the other 2. Attack, 5.5 million. Defense, 2.8 million. Total power of around 25 million. But again, please remember, I'm going to keep reiterating this. These are base levels, not affected by, so they will be affected by your research when you actually, see them in game in your shipyard and everything. Hull health and shield health are pretty much the same. There's only about 120,000 difference between them. So the Titan itself has 2 energy weapons and a single kinetic weapon. So yeah, okay. So the energy weapons, let's have a quick look. Yeah, so the second energy weapon is actually far more powerful. Obviously, I'm sure some of you have quickly read these stats, but you can check out STFC.space if you want more information. So here's the firing pattern for the Titan then. It's a 2, a 1 in the first round, and then it's a 2 and a 2 in the second round, and then, yeah, that's the two energy weapons are going to be the same, and the kinetic weapon, again, is going to be 2, 5, 8, 11. So, yeah, looks pretty biggy. 7 slots up to level 85, so 5 levels before the end. So that's nice. We are going to have the 7 slots by the looks of this through and through. And its maximum stats are 4,500. I do apologise, I'm moving the camera. So now we've got Titan Gold. Ooh, that looks pretty. Wow, that looks really pretty. I do like that. Increasing its ship's ability by 250%. So that's nice. Warp ranges then kicks off at 1275 and will top out at 1640. Wow. We're really getting far. Now we're actually looking at warp speeds average of what we're expecting Star Trek canon lore. Warp 9.1. Okay, by the time the Titan was commissioned, we was actually looking at close to subspace communication speeds of warp 9.9999. For anyone who's got the Star Trek Encyclopedia, who got a warp table in it, that was the actual speed of subspace communications. So basically, it'll take 10 years for Voyager to send a message home at subspace communications. But again, they were going to need the relays to keep relaying it on, but otherwise it will lose speed as it travels. So that's the Titan. Not particularly too bad. Yes, as you can see, we've got some the surveys there. We will look at them in a minute. But here's the Vlocks, the Romulan one. Again, 18 tier. Ship's ability with this one is Barbed Strike. So this is increasing your piercing stats. Again, exactly the same increase through the levels. 350 blueprints. Same build cost. Same requirements. Material costs. Again, approximately around the same. So because of these sheer costs, what I'm actually going to advise at this point is plan ahead. Plan ahead to what you actually want. Also, if you are liking the video so far, please smash that like button. So there's your repair costs. Oh, let's get rid of the range so we can actually... Oh, hello. I don't want that. I don't want that. I want that back at level 1. Here we go. Kicking out the gate then. Power 22.5 million, just under. 4.6 million attack, 2.8 million just under for defense. DPI is 2.75 million. And again, criticals are exactly the same. Hull health and shield health are exactly the same for this one. So, and it's around 15 million. So that's pretty nice. Weapons is going to be 1 energy weapon and 2 kinetic. Looking at this, it's going to be a single energy weapon and a kinetic weapon firing at the same time every single round. And then the kinetic weapon, well, guess what? We've seen that kinetic weapon firing at 2, 5, 8, 11 all the way through so far from in all the combat ships. Guess what? It still continues here as well. So, and just to put it here, so this is probably going to be your better ship to go for in the area. So again, you're gonna have to watch your reputation levels as well, because we don't know what the rep locks are at the minute. So now the rest of the stats are going to be the same, but let's have a quick look and see how that gold looks on this one. Not too bad. Yes, we didn't look at it for the was it the Akira? Yeah, we didn't look at the Akira once, but again, you can jump in here and have a look yourself. So that's the Vlocks, and then the next rare is going to be the Koshkari, the Klingon version, which is the Explorer. Ship's ability is going to be increasing accuracy, which of course is an Explorer. What does it target? Interceptors. So it's going to need that better accuracy. Kicking off exactly the same in stats. Blueprints, build cost exactly the same. Shipyard again. Let's have a quick look at the total costs. Whew, yeah, pretty much the same as the other two. So we are definitely seeing a theme here. We're seeing roughly different firing patterns, but construction costs, upgrade costs are looking pretty, well, total costs are similar. Ship abilities are pretty much the same. Power, again, for this one is going to be 23.8 million. Attack, 5.3, just under, and defense is 3.2. DPR around 3, just over 3 million. But again, criticals is a 10 and a 50. So, here you go. There's your average health then of 15.2 with a shield health of 16 and hull health of 14.4. Now, as per usual with the Klingon Explorers, they always carry a kinetic weapon. But by looks of this is literally the front-facing combat. Every single weapon will fire in the first round. So this is going to change the firing pattern for that end kinetic weapon. But again, you've got 2 energy weapons as well, firing every single round as well. So here you go. So you got 1, 4, 7, 10. This one. So with that kinetic weapon, this one actually has the advantage over the other 2 ships with that kinetic weapon firing in the first round. So this could be kind of the ship you're going after. But again, just it's up to you how you go for it. Again, we're going to have a quick look at the gold. Okay, that looks more like a telephone, the old style TV aerials, which had the big stick and the spikes coming out of each side of it. And a box at the bottom. And a bit of a amplifier. It's just on its side here. Okay, so that looks a little bit weird. But hey-ho, that's the way it is. So, they're the rares. Now, let's have a quick look at the factions survey ships. This is bringing it down again to 15 tiers. So, again, now these are going to be material specific, but not grade. So, this one, as you can see, is ore by 700%. And we'll top out at level 75 at 1785. So that's not particularly too bad. 1,000% increase. So they're pretty much exactly going to be the same for the most part. 320 blueprints, 105,000 titanium, 900 dilithium, 39 days to build. Requires shipyard 68 to actually build. And here's your total cost for it. So once you've got that, the first one, was it the Minerva, was it? No, it's not the Minerva. The Selki, I can't remember. It's so much to remember, just so quick. But you've got your costs here, not too bad. So obviously you don't normally use your miners for combat. I didn't mean to shove that all the way up there. So here you go. It's actually not particularly too bad. DPI, pretty much what you would expect, but the critical chances and everything, yeah. So there's its health. Energy weapon is 1 and 1, so firing pattern, of course, is going to be 1. 7 slots available, and again, maximum stats for officers is 2,000% at 420,000 stats. So there's the gold version. So what's, oh, this one's different. So after winning a battle, the target that has more resources than this thing is available cargo space. Oh, so this is taking an extra 0.25%. That's better than the amalgam. That's better than the amalgam. So, but this only activates if it has available empty cargo space before attacking. So that's going to be interesting. It has an extra cargo hold. Ooh, that's going to be nice. What ranges then is 12 at 80, kicking out the gates, and 1610 as the top mark. So now here's a Klingon version. It's the Grisha. Again, the stats are going to be the same. This one is obviously your crystal miner. No point covering all the stuff that we've already just quickly covered. So there you go. You can see the costs are the same. Shipyard's the same. Total costs for construction is pretty much the same as the other one. I'm sure the Federation one is going to be the exact same. So again, 1 energy weapon. Let's have a quick look at the gold. Is the gold going to give us the same ability? Yes, it is. So there you go. There's your gold version. Not bad looking, really. So, but yeah, absolutely fairly nice. Now, so we'll just come down to the new Grange, which is your Federation version. And obviously, again, this one is going to be your gas one. We're just covering it quickly, just so so you can't say, well, Pegasus, you missed one. No, I didn't. I actually covered every single one of them, even if it is in a small detail. But let's have a look at the gold version. Like I say, they're exactly the same, all these. So don't need to worry too much. There's the gold version. And again, yeah, after winning a battle, it's going to be the exact same 0.25% increase to cargo. So that's not too bad, really, in all honesty. So a built-in amalgam ability added onto them would be nice. Now, this is what we're actually looking at, is the epics. I'm going to start with the lady herself, the USS Enterprise 1701 Echo, the Big E, Captain Picard's last official starship under the rank of captain, because the Verity, he was actually an admiral. So let's make sure we put that into canon lore correct. So the ability for this ship then is drawing the line. As long as the ship has morale, the Enterprise E increases its kinetic weapon damage by 2,180% of base cumulative each time the Decimator hits. So the Decimator, I'm guessing, is going to be its kinetic weapon, but we'll have a look at that one as we go on. You can see the improvements here as you go through the levels. It is an 18 tier ship, so you guessed it, 90 levels. Tops out at 2,360. Are they really taking the piss? Are they really taking the piss? For 90 levels, you're going to get a 180% increase. What the hell? Oh my god. Only Scopley could do something so good. But make it so bad. 650 blueprints as we found with the G4, the G5 epics. Cost to build it is 149,000 and 1,300 dilithium. What shipyard 70 to actually build. Total cost for the full 18 tiers. If I stop moving it around, there you go. Now, confirm with me. This is the epic. Can you see any epics in there? No, you can't. You've actually not witnessed one epic material. Not one. Hell, you'd have thought for G6 they'd be bringing in epic parts. No, they haven't. But like I did say, look at those costs. Millions and millions. Well, I hope the drop rates are actually pretty damn good. Otherwise, this is going to be an extremely expensive ship to upgrade. So, now let's get rid of the range, because obviously we're looking at base levels. 63 million power out of the dock. Again, fresh grade. Reminder, these are base levels. These will be affected by your research in-game. So, attack is 16.7 million almost. Defense 6.2 million. DPR is 9 million. Yeah, that's pretty much going to decimate any ship when you add all your research on top of that one. Criticals is 10 and 150. Just under 40 million health, so 42.7 million shield health and a 37.2 million hull health. 3 weapons, as you can see, is 3 energy weapons. Wow. These are very weird. Woo. Oh my lordy, what on earth is going on here? So the third one is one shot every single 2 rounds. And doesn't start till round 2. So basically, and from what I'm seeing here, is nothing actually fires on the... Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. So you got 5 weapons attached to this thing. 5 weapons. Wow. Okay, let's have a look at the firing pattern. This is going to be interesting. So, whoa, there's the Decimator. So here's the kinetic weapon. Wow. So you have 4 pulsed phasers and 1 Decimator, but look at those phaser patterns. The Decimator is the only thing that pretty much fires every single round. So this is not a very good start for a Sovereign class starship. This is actually pretty weak and pretty naff to begin with. Whoa. yeah, let's have a quick gander. So what we're seeing so far is on round 9 is when you're going to have 1, 2, miss a weapon, decimator, 3rd phaser. So the 4th phaser. It's the only time I'm seeing the most amount of weapons firing at once. And it is. Wow. That is a weird firing pattern. Oh my lordy, I hate to think what the other ones are going to be like. So anyway, 7 slots for the ship, and tops out at 1.6 million stats and 6,500%. There's the gold refit. Woo, nice. Increases the gold is going to be increasing decimator by 450% while having morale. So, what range is then? What range is 1565 out of the gate? So, yep. And then, my lord, where's it going to top out at? Just under 2,000. Warp 9.7. Again, the Sovereign class warp maximum warp speed is actually warp 9.9975. That's not Voyager's. Voyager's is warp 9.975. The Sovereign's is 9.9975. She's a very fast ship, but obviously that's nothing compared to like the Odyssey or the Enterprise F, but they're more advanced ships, which we'll probably see in G7. But let's not think about G7 just yet. So that's your Enterprise then. Next up, we're going to look at the Scimitar. So they've brought the Scimitar in as your Romulan battleship. 18 tiers, ship's ability designed for war. As long as it has burning, increases weapon damage by 18-20%. Each time the incinerator hits, so it's got an incinerator, this one. So by looks of it, each kinetic weapon on these ships is going to have a specific name. Go on, let's have a laugh at the increase at level 90. Level 90 is, where is it? There it is. 2,000%. So you've got 180% increase. Oh my god, that's still worse than the. Oh my god, that's worse than the Sovereigns. I'm dreading the firing pattern of this thing, but how bad that could be. Oh my lordy, 650 blueprints. So yeah, so there's all the other information, as you know. There's your total costs as well for all 18 tiers. Oh my lordy, it's just like literally, it's like what do you say? They designed a brilliant ship and everything, but yet then they make it so pathetically crap in its abilities. 65 million power in total, 18.8 million attack, just under 8.8 million defense. DPI is 8.2, so that's not bad. Here's your health and everything. So now, are we going to see 5 weapons for the Scimitar? Well, here's your energy weapons. Looking at the firing pattern, yeah, I would have to say, because I can see at the bottom there 2 extra boxes. So yes, we are going to have 5 weapons, and here they are. So here's your kinetic. Takes 2 rounds to start. So go on then. Let's have a look at the firing pattern for this one. Okay, so what I am actually seeing here then is a firing pattern exactly the same as the Enterprise E. Okay, so now we've got a bit of even balance. The only thing that's going to give the Scimitar the advantage over the Enterprise is the battle triangle and your cruise and your research. But other than that, the firing patterns are exactly the same. So, is the Klingon version going to have the same firing pattern? So we won't need to... Oh, we didn't look at the Scimitar's gold, did we? So let's have a quick look at the Scimitar's gold. What does she look like? Not too bad. Not too bad. So I definitely think she's not too bad. I still got to admit that the Titan's definitely the better looking one. Sorry, I've been rubbing my eyes so much for the last several days. So here we go. The creature, which is the Klingon Epic Interceptor. Now, for me, when I saw this actually showed in Starquip's video, it looked more like a bigger, bulkier version than the bird of prey. It's got water nacelles on at the end of its wings, but it's also got a cannon just next to them. So to me, it looks like a bulkier version of the bird of prey. But again, I'll leave that down to your opinion on that one. So Disintegrator, as long as the opponent has hull breach, the creature increases its energy weapon damage by X%, and each time the Disintegrator hits. So basically, what we're seeing here then is when the kinetic weapon hits the target, these ships are going to increase their energy weapon damage. Pretty nifty. You know what? I'm not even going to laugh. I'm not even going to check it because we saw how the other two were so bad. So, done it again, Anna. There we go. Put the range back on so you can just get to quickly see the costs. So, yep. Obviously, if you wanted a detailed version of it, you can always jump in here and have a look as well. So there's all your stats then. 61.2 million power, just under 20 million attack, just under 8.8 million defense, 9.3 million DPR. There's your shield health and everything. So yeah, okay, pretty good. So here we go then. Now this could give the Klingon ship the advantage. All kinetic weapons. Oh my god, she is a full-blown kinetic ship. This could give the creature the advantage in a fight. But looking at this firing pattern, oh my god, there you go. Massive change. We've got a twos. We have twos. Could this be the better ship? Could this be your PvP ship? Let you decide that one. The Interceptors are predominantly usually the PvP version in this game. The battleships are the hostile grinders and the explorers are usually sort of like a mix between the two. So, but yeah, this one looks pretty nifty. Got the Disintegrator, but all these photonic torpedoes firing. I mean, that's unreal. But hang on, now, I found a problem. Can you remember the problem? Was it something to do with increasing energy weapon damage? Oh, we have a problem because not one. There's your energy weapon. I missed it. There's your energy weapon. It's the Disintegrator itself. So the Disintegrator will increase its own weapon damage. So, okay, that's fine. So there we go. We solved the problem. But again, yeah, I mean, these energy weapons are cumulative, so they're going to keep building, so they're going to get stronger. So, but anyway, so that's the ships. That's all 13 of them. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Is there any that, obviously, it's going to be probably a couple of years before a lot of players get there, but is there any that you're going to particularly look at and think, yes, that's the one I want? Because, yeah, to be honest, there's a couple in here that I've actually thought, yeah, these are going to be the ones I want. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'm Admiral Pegasus. Thank you for joining me. Stay safe, live long and prosper, and I shall catch you on the next video. Goodbye.